Part 3, Chapter 49. Adam loved airports, but he hated driving to them. He parked in the remote car park, since it was the cheapest per day, and rode the shuttle bus to the terminal. There was something about the old architecture that got to him. Perhaps it made him feel like he was in the 70s when the airport was built. He rode the escalator with his simple backpack filled with a change of clothes, went to the check-in kiosk, then casually walked to his gate since he was 2 hours early. There was a little bookstore across from him, so he browsed for 10 minutes before settling on a book by someone named Donovan Scott. Then he had breakfast at McDonald's. He read and ate to distract himself from the depressing realization that he was eating alone in a corner of a McDonald's in an airport. He couldn't help but think of that dream of him in Canada alone. But this wasn't a dream, and, therefore, he couldn't cry. He settled into his window seat 20 minutes later and stared out at the luggage handlers. The plane's hum soothed him, and he briefly wondered if there were any plane noise ASMR videos out there. He pulled his phone out and searched YouTube. "Well, hello again," a female voice said. Adam looked up and saw a flight attendant standing in the aisle. She didn't look familiar, but her voice struck a chord in his memory. "Do I know you?" he asked warily. She sat down next to him. "I suppose I understand why you don't remember. There's nothing nostalgic about 2017. She raised a heavily drawn-in eyebrow. "Courtney?" he asked, his mouth suddenly gone dry. "It's been a while," she said, winking. "For me, it's only been a week." She frowned, but didn't say anything. She looked very different from the child he'd met outside of church. Along with the pencil-thin eyebrows, she also wore a lot of makeup. She was also quite tall, her long legs stretching before her. "How long have you worked here?" he asked. 5 years. You visiting family in Augusta?" "No, I did that in December. I'm visiting some friends." "So you're still visiting from the future?" "Yep. I fondly remember this job, so I wanted to revisit it. I'm retired now. Well, now." She did air quotes. "So, how did it go?" Adam looked at her for a moment, trying to figure out what she was talking about. "How did what go?" "Your dad's death." His heart lurched. "Did I tell you about that?" "Obviously." "When?" She looked up and tapped her chin, just like she did when she was 6. "I can't remember exactly. Time is fuzzy." She laughed at her own joke. "Anyway, you were at your wits' end trying to figure out who killed your dad, so you asked me to look into it. You know, from the future, to see if anyone was ever convicted. I did, and told you. Oh boy, I'll bet the universe made you forget." Adam was too shocked to say anything. He didn't recall even telling Courtney about this quest. Was this what it was like for his friends and family after he told them something they weren't supposed to know? It was very disturbing. "Tell me again," he croaked out. "I'll do you one better." She grabbed a notepad from a pocket and wrote something down on a piece of paper, then ripped that sheet out and handed it to him. "I gotta get back to work," she said as she stood. "Good luck with that." She pointed to the note, then said, "Miller, I want to come back." Adam watched as present Courtney slowly came back to herself. She shook her head, rubbed her eyes, then smiled at Adam. But it was a smile one stranger gives another. This Courtney didn't know Adam, but she clearly knew where she was. She walked away and got to work. Adam went back to looking out the window. What had he been thinking about? Oh yeah, plane noise ASMR videos. He liked the sound of planes. They were soothing. He went to check his phone when he noticed a piece of paper in his hands. It had nothing on it.